Hello, everyone. Welcome to the beginning of the last days. It sure is good to be with you. I'm trying to quickly finish a little bite of chocolate that I had, which is not part of my diet. But my new diet is stop eating when I'm full. And I'm not full right now. So I had a bite. Yeah. Really loving that chocolate nut today. The DOJ is going crazy in the United States of America. Let's talk about it in just a moment. So, opened my dad's Bible to see what dad thought was important. And I went to Proverbs today very specifically. And the reason is because Proverbs is full of all the wisdom of God. And Solomon wrote Proverbs, and he was considered the wisest man that ever lived. I mean, he'd have to be. He had over 700 wives and concubines. How wise would you have to be, hun, to have all that?
Not very.
Not very wise, he says. Kind of dumb, actually. Oh man, imagine spreading yourself that thin. Okay, so I looked down, considering all that's going on in the world and the incredible. I was thinking about how Proverbs talks about a man who spreads a net for another will fall into that same trap. That's happening right today. That is happening in the United States of America. They spread a net. They raided Mar-a-Lago. Please don't write me about Donald Trump. Don't, okay? They treated him unjustly. If you know all of the details about that, they treated Mr. Trump unjustly, and they went into his home, into his wife's private stuff, into all the areas of his home, to get these documents that everyone already knew about, that the FBI, in fact, had already seen. So they raid his place, and now what? Oh, now we've got 3 sets of documents coming out. Well, so I opened up my dad's Bible, and I thought, what did my dad underline regarding setting a net or everything? I came to chapter 11 of Proverbs, and it says verse 9, it says, a hypocrite with his mouth destroys his neighbor. A hypocrite destroys his neighbor, but through knowledge shall the just be delivered. Oh, by the blessing of the upright, the city is exalted, but it is overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. The rulership is overthrown over the city, over the nation. It's overthrown by the mouth of the wicked. Well, I can't think of anyone more wicked today than President Biden, who has, if you've seen the interview where he was asked about, Donald Trump having these documents that he had declassified, that the FBI knew about, how he was raided in his home, asking Biden about it. And Biden says, I just don't know how anyone can be so irresponsible. Really? So he's got classified documents where he keeps, what kind of car does he have? A Corvette in his garage. They have video of him doing a campaign, and he's driving that Corvette in and out of his garage. That's where they found the documents. That's how secure they were. Oh, do we have videos? Oh, yeah, okay. I'm giving away the punchline. Okay, roll it. Just roll your video.
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr. President,
Okay.
classified material next to your Corvette. What were you thinking?
Let me, I'm going to get a chance to speak on all this, God willing, soon. But as I said earlier this week, people, and by the way, my Corvette's in a locked garage, okay? So it's not like you're sitting out in the street.
So
But anyway,
was in a locked garage.
yes, as well as my Corvette. But as I said earlier this week, people know I take classified documents and classified material seriously. I also said we're cooperating fully and completely with the Justice Department's review. As part of that process, my lawyer has reviewed other places where documents from my time as vice president were stored, and they finished the review last night. They discovered a small number of documents of classified markings in storage areas and file cabinets in my home and my my personal library. This was done in the case of the Biden Penn. This was done in the case of the Biden Penn Center. The Department of Justice was immediately, as was done, the Department of Justice was immediately notified, and the lawyers arranged for the Department of Justice to take possession of the document. So we're going to see all this unfold. I'm confident. Thank you very much.
Oh man. Hey, Balwinder Singh, thanks for sending us $5. Okay, I appreciate you so much. Thank you. Now that's not all. Take a look at this.
Jonathan, our team just got off the phone with a senior official at the Department of Justice weighing in on this point, that we appear to be able to confirm that that is correct, that a third discovery was a single document. According to this official to Fox News, the DOJ just found out about that one this morning, and it was found at his residence.
And do you have one more video on this? Or no, that's it. And so, all right. So is it Corinne Jean-Pierre today had to do such a dance, like a tap dance? Do, 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 do. Try to explain how her boss, the President of the United States of America, can look so deceptive, foolish, like a liar, like an inept leader for all of these months. Then we find out that the DOJ knew about the documents, I think maybe two document discoveries, maybe just one, before the midterms. Did anyone say a word? Oh no. You see, the media is so corrupt. We have a big problem because the media is in cahoots and in bed with the evil regime of the White House. And now it's all tumbling out, and every net that they have set, attacking Trump's children, attacking his boys, and filing lawsuits against them nonstop, and Hunter Biden and his laptop with the proof of collusion with China, the Penn State issue, is it called the Biden Penn Center in Pennsylvania, finding out that millions and millions of dollars from Chinese donors coming. Why are the Chinese so supportive of Biden? And what does that have to do with some of the trips that he and his son Hunter took? And some of the eyewitnesses to that. One specific guy, he's been on Tucker a couple times, Bobolinsky. Yes, sounds like a mob boss, doesn't it? But anyways, he's a good guy. Bobolinsky's telling the truth on all of this, what he knew. The big guy, they referred to Joe Biden as. Did Hunter Biden basically get funds and sell his influence with his father, at one point slated to be the president and then who became the president? And now, after they spoke so hideously, as soon as they find out, and by the way, Trump, after the Mar-a-Lago, found some more documents, and they immediately reported those documents, as they should, that, well, we found more documents. What did they do? They went directly to court, basically that day or next day, filed suits against him. And so now what they're saying is, but Biden's done everything right. He's reporting all the documents in his garage. He's reporting all of this stuff. So he's done the right thing. Well, isn't that what Trump did? You bunch of scoundrel, lying, deceiving criminals, all in bed together. Well, this is a pretty cool day. It's so interesting how God has a way of allowing the trap that you have set for your enemy to come tumbling out. Unbelievable. And a really good day for me. I've enjoyed watching this. And Karine Jean-Pierre, jumping through hoops, not making sense, basically answering questions with, well, this is what I can tell you. We're looking into it. The DOJ is now, I think he is, putting the DOJ is in quite a position, isn't he? You see, they really wanted to attack Donald J. Trump in light of the fact he's running to be president in 2024. They really, really wanted to get him on these documents he had. And now they realize that Biden, who was not president, who could declassify documents. When you're the president, you can declassify anything and take it with you. Hillary Clinton's done the same thing. All of the presidents have taken documents ad nauseum that they wanted to take with them. Yeah, Hillary Clinton broke the law too by, well, destroying her phones, her computer. She smashed to pieces her computer, her emails through, it's called bleach, this bleach bit wash that they put on all her emails. Oh, it's glorious. The Bible, we have to be careful when we laugh because we don't want God's eye to go, hey, Missy, you better not be laughing too much at the enemy, watching everything you're doing too. But there is a part also in Scripture where it says that the people will rejoice when justice is done in the land. The people rejoice when they see the truth coming out. And right now, even the corrupt MSM is having to look like they've got egg on their face. And it pains them to be reporting on this. It pains them that this is the entire topic of today's, press conference, right, at the White House. This is, we'll have to wait and see what those women at The View have to say now. Remember, this is what they said. Oh, yeah, Trump's a liar, And what is Biden? What is Biden? The man has shown himself repeatedly, lie after lie after lie. It's all coming out. I, for one, am going to say thank you, God, for showing the truth. All right, so should we go into our lineup a little bit here? All right, so, I might need to let YouTube go. We do want to, just before we let YouTube go, we've got some serious things we're going to be talking about. What about the queer theorist conducting a street experiment on children, luring kids with colorful bubbles? That would be good to run before we go. We also just want to say that Lisa Marie Presley has had it looks to be a heart attack or what's happened? Lisa Marie, she is hospitalized after going into cardiac arrest. TMZ is reporting it. Must be true then. So we do pray that she's okay. We'll see what happens. Yesterday, there was another fellow who's died, Jeff Beck, and he was an amazing guitarist for different bands, or Yardbirds and Rod Stewart and stuff. He died yesterday. I have more, but let's go into this is an interesting thing. I believe they're after the children in our world, and they are, what do you call that? When you're luring them, and it's very dangerous for kids. So this is an interesting thing on how people do stuff. Watch.
I went to a very busy street corner on a Saturday afternoon in Asheville, North Carolina, and I took a big jug of bubbles, children's bubbles that you would blow, very colorful bubbles, and I sat on a low chair, so I was eye level with the children. The children were loving the bubbles, they were enjoying them, and their parents would walk over. They were a little concerned about me because I looked odd to them, And when their parents would walk over, I would say, these are queer bubbles, and they're going to make your children queer. Not gay and lesbian, but queer, meaning that they're going to be healthy, happy, revolutionary queers. Are going to put an end to racism, misogyny, transphobia, and help change this world for the better. A few of the parents thought it was funny or interesting and said, well, I'll love my children no matter what they do. But almost all of the parents were very upset and would grab their children and pull them away, screaming. The kids would be screaming because they wanted to play with the bubbles. And as the parents walked away, they would keep saying to me, sorry, I'm sorry, while they're walking away. And I said, why are you sorry? I mean, I want to know what you're sorry about. So that was the ritual. It felt very productive in many ways.
Good. I don't know what's wrong with parents not standing up for their kids these days and protecting their children. I do not understand where the mother bears have gone, bringing kids to these queer sex capades that go on with the folks that seem to have absolutely no decorum and dressed with these huge breasts, and they are transgender people. Don't know why anyone would want to do that in front of kids. Do you? Why you'd want to be such a weirdo and a nut? I don't know, but you're not safe to be around kids. So with that, anything else we can... Okay, we have something on global warming from a geologist. Let's do that one. So we'll have a look at another perspective on global warming. Take a look.
The key thing with talking about global warming is when do you start measuring?
Yeah.
If you started measuring 38 years ago, there's been no change. If you started measuring 150 or in the 1850s, then there's been a general warming of about 0.7 degrees Celsius with 3 periods of slight warming and 3 periods of slight cooling. If you started to measure from the medieval times, then in medieval times, we've had a cooling of about 4 degrees Celsius since, say, 1200 AD. If you wanted to measure from the time of when the Vikings first appeared, about 750 AD, then we've had a distinct warming. If you want to measure when a temperature trend from the time of Jesus, then we've had a cooling of about 5 degrees Celsius. So if you're telling me that the planet's warming, my question is, since when?
Isn't that great? Okay, that was geologist Ian Pilmer. And a lot of people have a lot of different perspectives on what is being said. And one thing for sure, you cannot get your information on global warming from CTV, CBC, or Global News in Canada, or MSNBC, CNN, or any of those NBC people, crazy people in the United States of America, because they're not telling you the whole story. They're not telling you the truth. Now, Canada is taking the same steps as the United States of America and beginning to talk about banning your gas stove. So my husband brought up an interesting point that if they ever wanted to shut down the grid, to kind of have some colossal problem, well, if you can't shut down the gas stove, then people can still get heat, they can still make food. But if it's all electrical, then they've got more control. Take a look.
Agency in the United States is raising concerns about how safe they are, calling them a hidden hazard.
The U.S. Consumer Product Safety Commission is even considering a ban on gas stoves, saying they cause health and respiratory problems. Our Pat Foran is here with Consumer Alert. Pat.
Thanks, Michelle and Nathan. This story will be bad news for anyone who enjoys cooking with gas, but there has been growing concern that gas stoves emit pollutants that are unsafe and may even lead to asthma in children. Many chefs enjoy the benefits of cooking with gas, the instant heat, the ease of temperature control, and burners great for searing or simmering. But what you can't see might actually harm you. Consumer Reports conducted tests on gas ranges and found levels of nitrogen oxides at more than double the standard for outdoor air.
Nitrogen oxides are pollutants more typically associated with outdoor sources like power plants and cars and trucks. but new studies suggest that gas ranges can actually produce these emissions inside your home.
Studies have shown that natural gas stoves emit pollutants such as nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, and fine particulate matter. The gases can worsen asthma and other lung diseases, and one study found that more than 12% of current childhood asthma cases in the U.S. can be attributed to gas stove use.
Okay, so isn't that fascinating? Very, very interesting. Of course, whatever the United States does, we do whatever the WEF, the WHO, and all of the elites kind of suggest, whatever Agenda 2030 says, the world begins to fall in line with the craziest things ever. And so that is what's happening. Now, we are seeing a lot of things going on in the world. And all right. So I'm sorry. Yeah, I just had a very important text just popped up. It's important, but okay, we'll leave it. See, I'm ADHD. All right, people are laughing at me. So we know a lot of things are going on in the world. We pray for everyone to be well. A lot of sudden deaths, a lot of athletes just falling over. But meanwhile, Hollywood's Jimmy Fallon is making light of the mRNA vax and putting a positive spin on Moderna's product. Just wondering if this making light, of such a serious problem and, an emerging problem is really the way to go. Take a look.
Coca-Cola in the lab, waiting for that new injection. One little jab and there you have a cure for this infection. Moderna is the one you need. Allow me to explain. It's hella nice. Put it on ice and then shoot it in my vein. It won the vaccine race. Antibodies were responding. Smack Pfizer down, took the COVID crown and left Johnson holding his Johnson. So when you go to the doctor, don't have no concern. Just ask the guy, what should I try? Say, funky cold Moderna. Funky cold Moderna.
One word: surrounded. Fill in the blanks. So just before we leave YouTube, because the rest of the stuff that I want to share, and we're speaking with an amazing guest today, but we're just going to put the poster up for an event that is happening very soon. I want all of you here to mark your calendars. Wednesday, January 18th, 2023, David Ebby's office in Vancouver, British Columbia. Stand united, heroes take action. The people say no to Bill 36, no right to choose. And basically they are calling for David Ebby's position to be revoked and a recall on his recent appointment. So that is very important. Remember, January 18th, okay, from 12 until 3. Mark your calendars now, January 18th, 12 till 3. All right. And so for you that are watching on YouTube, we have put the place to go right now to Rumble in the description. You can head on over there so we can talk about real things. Thank you very much for following us here. We urge you to get on Rumble, subscribe so that you will be notified every day when we go live, so that you start, really finding us and you don't have to do this little switch all the time. Nonetheless, we love YouTube and we love our YouTube followers there. So we'll follow you over on Rumble.